Hari Om. Welcome to the session. So we'll start with the prayer. Please sit in a cross-legged posture or a comfortable position. Back straight, eyes closed, palms on the knees. And keep Chin Mudra or Gyan Mudra in your hands. We'll chant the Guru Mantra. We'll keep our mind on Guru's feet and take his blessings. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Akanta Mantala Kar Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Dhyana Moolam Guru Murti Puja Moolam Guru Padam Mantra Moolam Guru Vakyam Moksha Moolam Guru Kripa Moksha Moolam Guru Kripa. We'll chant 3 times Om. Have a deep inhalation. Om. Oh. Hari Om, welcome all. We welcome all of you on behalf of our Swamiji and Shiv Darshan Yoga Vidyalaya. We welcome every one of you for this webinar. This is conducted, we are planning to conduct very frequently, if possible weekly. It's a kind of message our Swamiji wants to spread, and yoga from door to door to show to show. So this is one of our initiative. So today we have a special webinar which is for kids, and I want to take a minute to talk about our ashram. Shiv Darshan Yoga Vidyalaya started 30 years back by a couple of swamijis, sannyasis from Bihar School of Yoga tradition. We have Swami Vajrapani Saraswati, who is our founder, and Swami Gambhirananda Saraswati, who is Acharya, heading the institution. So they were both are direct disciples of Swami Satyananda Saraswati, the founder of Bihar School of Yoga. So they came to Chennai 30 years back, and this ashram started. So we are doing many teacher training courses, especially like we are training yoga teachers to become a therapist and a better teacher. And what we teach at ashram is by Guru Sishya tradition, whatever our Swamiji is received. The same thing, like we are the teachers have been trained and selected by Swamiji, and we are giving the courses. Most of the courses are like spread by word of mouth. We don't have kind of big advertisement. These days we forward through WhatsApp and other group, but most of our participants are by word of mouth. People tell outside and go and do. This is 100% charitable trust. So we are only in Chennai. We have ashrams in Kasi as well as in Tiruvannamalai. So we have 3 courses we are starting. I'll take a minute to just brief about it. We have a kids teacher training course. This is for adults to become yoga teacher for kids. How to teach kids. Now we have our Kavita ma'am, who is a speaker now, will be explaining that. Because kids normally we cannot take. We need to make things interesting. So we'll see like how this can be done. And we have prenatal postnatal yoga teacher training course for prenatal postnatal. So the kids teacher training course happens in Sunday morning, 8 to 12:30. And prenatal postnatal from afternoon 2 o'clock to 6:15. So this will be, most of our classes happens on Sunday, And there are a few Saturdays, 1 or 2 Saturdays we included. We have assignments, Viva, and exams, all those things. Upon successful completion, we'll be giving you a teacher training certificate. This will be like from ashram atmosphere. So you need to write assignments and you need to keep the video on, present in all the classes. So this is all kind of compulsory, kind of a little strict, because by that way we can enjoy. Once we finish the course, then we'll come to know how much we have learned. That's the ambience we create. And we have one more course, Yoga Sutra course, where Saturday and Sunday, all Saturdays and Sundays, night 8 to 9:30 p.m. So this covers all the padas, all the sutra, all the padas. We also give all the recordings of the classes of all the courses so that you can go through, especially Yoga Sutra, you need to go through many times so that it will be like we can clear our doubts and understand the essence. So these are the courses we have. We have a chanting course, Yoga Sutra chanting course separately. Again, that is also headed by Kavita ma'am. So that happens Wednesday, every Wednesdays. So for further detail, you can always call us for anything. And these Yoga Sutra course happen 5 to 6 months. Because it's a philosophy. It takes a lot of time to dwell and understand the essence. So you don't need to have any Yoga Sutra background. You don't need to have any Sanskrit background. So we'll make sure like you understand the essence. So thank you for being with us. So I now would like to introduce our Kavita ma'am, who is a speaker for today's session. And to talk about Kavita ma'am is a senior most teacher at Shiv Darshan Yoga Vidyalaya. She is teacher for most of us whom you can see here. And everyone who attended Kavita ma'am class would like to attend it more, because that's a very lively she will teach. In fact, every one of us learn many things and inspire. She is an inspiring teacher for all of us. Academically, yes, Kavita ma'am is working in IT and doing many things. So in yoga, she has finished MSc. She is an MBA graduate, finished MSc Yoga and Yoga Therapy, and UGC NET qualified, YCB Level 3 qualified. And Kavita ma'am is pursuing PhD also. So she takes a lot of classes in our ashram, and you'll be now, we are sure like you'll be enjoying the session. So thank you all. Hari Om Kavita ma'am, please take the session. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om, everybody. There are some few hands raised. Do we want to check? Balamurli sir, and there are a few people messaging asking for YouTube link as well.
Yeah, I'm sending the YouTube link, ma'am. You can proceed.
Okay. And there is hands raised.
I think we can answer it at the end, ma'am.
Okay, fine. We'll get started. Hari Om, everybody. My sincere gratitude to each one of you who's joined today, especially on a weekday evening. After all the celebrations, you've managed to join this. That itself shows your passion and your effort to learn to teach yoga for children. I really welcome you again on behalf of Shiv Darshan Yoga Vidyalaya. Let me once again welcome you all, and we'll get started on teaching yoga for children. So the first requirement for this course is, number 1, is become a child. Very easy, no? Can you all please forget what your age, what your qualification, all that, and then become a small child who doesn't worry about what happened in the past and who does not have any anxiety about the future. So are you ready to become the child? Because you got to be a child to teach another child, right? So are you all ready to be that? Can I have a yes? Can you? Okay, we cannot. There are 100 participants, so everybody cannot unmute. So let's use the chat box. Okay. So you got to be interactive here. So give me a yes. So you all ready? Very good. Okay. So I'm wearing a green dress. Can you all see I'm wearing a green dress? Right? A child would know, no? If they like a green dress. You learn colors in pre-KG, right? So I'm not wearing a green dress. No, are you sure? Yeah, I was just checking. I was just checking if the child is listening or not. Good. So I guess people are listening and knowing that I'm not wearing a green dress. Good job. Okay, so now you're all qualified to become the teacher already. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. So let me know when you can see. Let me know when you can see. Can you see? Can you see?
Yes.
Yes,
ma'am.
Yeah. Use the chat. Use it. No need to unmute. Use the chat. I can see the messages. Okay. Thank you. So let's use the chat to communicate and no need to take notes. Okay. Can you all first drop the pen? Children don't take notes, right? I told you to become a child, right? So no taking notes. I mean, you don't need to because all that is going to, I'll make sure that it's all get into your, head. So you can see my screen. Do you see Shiv Darshan Yoga Vidyalaya on your screen? Yes. Okay. So let me welcome you again and we'll get started on yoga education for children. So is yoga an art or a science? It's both, right? Yoga is an art and a science and is concerned with the evolution of mind and body. Okay, there are some people doing on the screen, so I think that's creating some annotation. So I request not to do the annotation. So yoga is an art and a science, and it incorporates a system of disciplines, which actually helps to develop the person as a whole, all aspects of an individual. And when do we do that? We have to catch them young. So the best time is the childhood, when there is so much of development and growth. And that's the time to introduce and induce yoga. Introduce and induce yoga, which will actually help them to develop physical stamina, make them emotionally stable, and make them very creative and highly intellectual as well. So yoga is basically a unified system for developing a balanced, best personality of a child. So what does a child always do? Typically at home, what does a child do? Ask questions, correct? Why like that? Why should I do this? Why not this way? Yes, have you heard is your child asking like that? Yes? No?
Yes.
Always, right? Always questions, right? Some questions you answer, some questions you don't answer. Some questions you will say, you will find out like that, right? Children are so inquisitive. They want to know. So they always ask questions. Here we go. Here also we will ask questions and we'll try to find the answers for the questions. So the first question is, who? Who are the people you're talking about? When I say children, who is the children? Children is actually a big umbrella of children of various ages and stages. So who are we talking about here? And then is why? Why for this children? Why yoga for them? Why do they need this practice? The next is, okay, what are the practices? What would you teach them? And the most important is everyone in your mind, everyone here wants to know is how. How do you accomplish that? How do you teach? What is the difference in teaching an adult and a child? What is the challenge? Why cannot I implement the same methodologies? What is the methodology different for a child? That's what we're going to talk about. So it's who, it's why, it's what, and how. Are you ready? That's the questions. Are you ready for the answers? Yes? Okay. So the yoga practice creates a balance. At the end of this question, you will find out that it creates a highly potential personality in all aspects: physical, mental, emotional, and a very, very creative person as a whole. Emotionally very, very stable. That will be the final outcome of a child who practices yoga. So going to the first question on who. So we're talking about children of various ages and stages. Typically, there are infants, toddlers, preschoolers, then there is children, and within children, teen, there is again preteen, teenage, young adults. There are so many age groups. Okay, but we are targeting here about preschoolers who are 7 years and lesser, right? So they are actually children who are actually below the age of 7. And Children who are 7 and above typically are like, called as young preteens, very, very young adults until 18, right? Then they become actually go into a older adults, older teenagers, and then become adults. So you have to know who you're teaching to, because the methodology changes. If there's a real small child, it cannot understand the instructions what we give to a other child, big older child. So you need to create either a homogeneous classroom. So that classroom will be very helpful for you to conduct the class very well. So preschoolers, we actually start the starting age, we typically say it's around 8 plus, right? Because in our tradition, we also have certain practices introduced them, sometimes religiously, sometimes, as a practice, as a, tradition. We actually introduce them only after the age of 8. So 7 to 8 is where we kind of start the practice. That is the time where you're, physiologically, you are growing, your system grows. So that time we don't want to give them any heavy practices. Yes, you can give them some dynamic practices a little earlier, but then when yoga is done with breathing, a mind awareness, it's better to start, after that. So it's very, very important to understand the nature of the group. What is your focus group? Is it going to be, of one particular age students, or is it going to be a range of them? So accordingly, you have to plan your course. So moving on to why. The next question is why. Why? What are the benefits? Why do I have to do this? Why not? Why do I have to do this? Let them, become adults. Then they will learn, right? But let's see a few of them here. Yoga improves children's emotional regulations. That is the main problem we are facing with. I have children and emotional outburst. They don't know how to manage their emotions. They either jump in joy or they sink in sorrow. They don't know how to handle their emotions. Do you agree with me? Yes?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so yoga helps them to control, not control, it's manage basically. They learn, they know how to relax, they know how to obtain the peace of mind, they know how to regulate their emotions. Because yoga is a mind management science. Physical part is only one part of it, right? It also boosts their self-esteem. Once the child is able to perform certain practices and improve their balance, improve their flexibility, the sense of accomplishment comes. It actually improves their self-esteem. And the child becomes aware of their body and aware mindfulness. When you do things, they are there. They do things mindfully. Because you cannot do without your mind, your movement, your body movement awareness has to be together. The balances that is obtained through yoga. And of course, you can do that only with higher concentration. Higher concentration also increases memory. How many times, we have problems with memorization skills in our education system? It's very, very important. Learning, paying attention, having concentration. You will see that in their academic performances. This will translate into better grades and more passion towards education as well. And of course, physical strength and flexibility. The bodies will be more flexible, the immunity will grow, and they will have a better physical health as well. And it teaches them discipline, most important. Discipline is something that is very hard. We have school, we have parents, we have all tried to teach discipline, but their behaviors are sometimes not so disciplined. So by doing yogic practices, understanding the do's and the don'ts, and being in a more emotionally stable mind, they will learn more disciplined behavior. Discipline is nothing but understanding the effect of their current doing, and they will make sure that their actions are done with the awareness of the consequences. I also mentioned about the deep concentration because of the focus that they do on the mind and the body. and it boosts in memory as well. And the most important thing is the stress that children go through. So we think stress is only for adults. Do you think stress is only for adults? Children have stress in many ways. Peer pressure, school, performances. They have to like compete against physically, mentally, competitions. There is so many healthy and so many unhealthy way of current happenings that is making them very, very stressful. So tests, exams, this is all there. We cannot going to change that. But then what you're going to teach them to way to handle it. We're not going to change anything system outside us, but these practices will change, give them the courage, the strength, the power, the peace to handle their anxiety towards these triggers for stress. And once they handle this, how cheerful will they be? The child will be a real child. The child will be really cheerful. Once they know, once they're able to manage. So teaching yoga for kids is slightly different from adults. What do you think is the difference? Type in the chat what you think is the difference. Yeah, you can share your differences that but I'm going to list a few of them here. I'm sure many of them may have yoga teachers here, which I recognize from some of them I know. So children are natural yogis, which means that they are in the present, right? Adult, they usually come for the yoga with a problem, weight loss, BP, sugar, and some of them will come with a higher purpose. I also agree. Some of them have the real search from, they come for as in the part of to be part of the part of the spiritual journey. But large part of them are here because of a particular reason, physical usually, mental also. So the challenge here is that the children are actually coming here because somebody brought them here. The parent wanted to learn yoga. It's not that they wanted to come. Sometimes the child say, yeah, I want to learn this, but then seriously going through a particular course or a class will be from the interest of a parent. But the adult will come by themselves. So they would know that the purpose of them being here. But the child will not know. The child will come with, very open-minded. They are natural yogis because they live in the present. In the yoga class, they are there in the yoga class. When they do yoga, they are 100% there. There is no worrying, there is no anxiety, there is no fear, there is no depression, no sadness. So children are naturally yogis. But spiritual concepts, you don't explain to them because it's too much for them. But it's easy to explain it to the adult. So you have to stick to what you have to give them. Again, the age group matters. Give all them only what they can eat, right? You can only bite what you can chew in the same way. And children, they're ready to explore. But an adult, they'll be worried about whether there's an injury, will I hurt myself, will I fall down? Those kind of anxiety will be there for the adults. But for children, oh, I'll do, let me try. They will be more receptive, more, a participator as well. That's actually, it will be so much fun in the class as well. So it will be very, very different to handling a typical adult session and a yoga session. And that's what we're going to learn how to do. Okay, so what do we teach them? Basically, what all can you teach them? First thing, we decided that we have to introduce it to children and the youth who are like teens, teenagers, preteens, and make yoga fun. It should not be another boring class tuition that they go to. They come here to learn for an overall development, include practices for physical and mental practices that will strengthen them and become a better individual. And yoga is not just done on the mat, right? It's a life beyond the mat. Yoga is a lifestyle. So we should include yama, niyamas, those yoga teachers who already know what is a yama, what is a niyama. Karma yoga. Helping a mother at home is also karma yoga. Sharing things with sibling and people who don't have that is also karma yoga. Gratitude, they will learn to show gratitude. Helping people you know and you don't know. All that includes gratitude develops for children once they understand the yogic concepts. And movement is big for children, right? We have to include movement. We are a moving family of species. We are not trees, we are moving. So the movement is very important. And breath and awareness with the movement is also to be included. And food. Children love food, right? But introduce food in a very fun way. Add diet, but then don't call it diet, which actually gives them a scare. Instead, introduce the goodness of food. Look at the food as a, something that with a good relationship with food. They would know that, eating right from wrong, the goodness that the food can bring you and the harm it can do to you. So advise a diet in a fun way. And very important, which you would not do with the adult usually, is discussion with the parents. You will see that you should have regular sessions with the parents so that, there will be changes, physical changes, mental changes, behavioral changes. You will see the way they talk to them will change. The way they take care of things will change. I've had several feedback when children come back and say, after the class, they change this way. Small things. I could give you an example, like when I say, you eat breakfast, they will say, I ate prasadam. And for breakfast, you probably want kala chutney, right? But for prasadam, you don't take that. So they say, this is prasadam. And there is, basic thing. They will actually eat breakfast as prasadam and not complain. And you will see that how much they will change and appreciate the family members, etc. So these are small behavioral changes you could notice. And prayer. In the course, actually, to highlight, for children, we have the separate sections for mantras. Morning, you wake up till the night you sleep. You start your day with a prayer. And during the day, every time before you start doing something, you pray for a particular God. And then there is prayer for before you eat, before you sleep, and then during any obstacles, and for strength, for education. So the concept of the divinity is also imbibed to children. So there is a belief in a superpower, in the supreme, that is also introduced to children. So the importance and the power of prayer is very, very important to be given to children. And as I mentioned, teach all this in a very fun way, not in a fearful way. And you will see that children will love to come to the class. They will wait for the next class and they will ask for extra class as well. And of course, games is an inevitable part of the session. Yoga games is separate sections where you will have so much fun with the children and teach the yogic concepts in a fun way. So it will be a yogic concept, awareness concept, a body awareness concept, a mobility concept, anything, but then it will be in a very fun way. And there is no competition there. Everybody participates and plays. So it's fun, unlimited in a yoga game. There is no competition as such. It's so much fun teaching games. So we have people from physical education background where you have physical games as well, right? Similarly, there are yoga games that will, make them so interested. They want to play. All children want to play. And yoga games are such fun because you are reiterating what they have learned in other ways. It could be an asana, but then you'll be applying the technique in a game as well. So that will be so much fun. And I invite you to try that as well if you're already taking or planning to take yoga classes for children. So basically, the goal is to be happy, confident, and compassionate. So you, as a teacher, as a parent, you have to be happy, confident as well, and then be compassionate with a child to make a compassionate child. So I hope you all are ready to, take the challenge of you becoming a child first. Only then you will be able to imbibe or impart this particular knowledge to them. So the children have one particular thing: their attention span is very small. It's a big challenge. So making a child sit them do for 10 minutes is a challenge, right? I'm sure many of you who have children know that, making a child sit is not easy at all because the attention span is very short. So it's all the more challenging for the teacher to introduce more creative things so that it can make it interesting, because they lose interest soon. So you have to have a place has to be very creative. The session has to be very creative. You can use actually aids, posters, PPTs, props, balls, whatever you can, even just clapping, anything, even if you don't have anything, you can still make it very, very fun. It could be indoor, it could be outdoor. You just have to have a course plan. And that, again, you can put together from the course, how to make a course plan for a child, starting with the first month, second month, third month. How will you slowly introduce those concepts, asanas, pranayama practices into their system? So now we've understood who, as in children, the age groups. What are we going to offer them is also something that we saw. We also saw why. Why as in why? Because there are so many benefits. I can only list a few here. There's so many benefits for a child to receive from this divine practice of yoga, from this education for life. Typically, our education system, we learn in each class and then we either progress or sometimes we use it, we don't use it. But this, I would say, is an education for life, to make them a better individual, to make them a better person, to handle the challenges in their lives while as they grow older. You would see that a child who has done yogic practices physically, mentally is more stable, is able to handle challenges, is able to manage life with confidence, and is able to accept things they are and move on, and not being too sorrow or too dejected or depressed, sad, frustrated. Instead, looking forward to more optimistic with positive thoughts and accepting things as they are and trying to be the change. So I invite everyone to make this change in a child's life by giving them this practice of yoga to them. So let's look at the methodology, typically how you would teach yoga how to introduce yoga for a child. Okay, are you all ready? So you're still with me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I just want to check because there are a lot of people, so it's hard to be very interactive. And thank you again for participating. Okay, so first thing is to know the child, because you have to have, even if it's a 20 children class, we have to restrict the number so that it's manageable in the first thing. And first, learn every child by the name, and that's very personal. Like how I know there is, Sarita here, that I know there is Vishnu Ram's mother here, then I know there is Nidhi here. I know personally, people who are here. Correct? So it's very important for child because then they get attention, right? Children are attention seekers. They will be attentive, and they will also like to be given attention. That's one character that we have to understand in a child. So learning the name is very challenging. And in fact, we had a game. I used to play a game with the child, with all the children in the first day of the first class. And by the end of the game, everybody will know everybody's name. You understand? A name game. To know the name is also played. So that itself will become a game. And even if you have 20 children, I will make sure that, the 20 children know the 20 names, because going forward, the interaction will be easier, and you don't know the person. I don't know the person in my classmate. That will never happen like that. So first, understand the children, make a class of people who are more familiar with, so there is good interaction. And, it's very good to do that so that, people who are introvert, not every child is the same. Do you agree? Even if you have 2 children, 4 children, 5 children, every child from the same mother and father is very unique. They're very, very different. One is an extrovert, the other one is an introvert, and one is sometimes extrovert, sometimes introvert. So it's a challenge, and you cannot generalize a particular activity for all the children. So that is a big challenge, and I will tell you how to handle that also. And you have to be more creative and innovative. One piece of paper is only you have. You should be able to play a game, introduce a particular thing, just one piece of paper. Tell me, how would you do it? One piece of paper I give you. Can you teach a pranayama with that? I don't have anything inside. In a classroom, there is nothing empty. I only got a room, but I got a piece of paper.
He can teach abdominal breathing by making a boat.
Very good. Okay, so that's a good answer. So think. As a yoga teacher, you will be thinking so creatively. So with a piece of paper, if there are 89 people here, there will be 89 answers. There are so many things you can do. So I will list a few here.
We can tear the paper into a lot of pieces, and we can make them to forceful exhalation and make them to blow the paper as fast as they can.
Very nice. Looks like you're all yoga teachers already. Very nice. So that's something I learned today. Very nice. Thank you, Priyana, and thank you so much. Yes, with one piece of paper, I can make a paper balloon, origami, can make a paper balloon and blow it for inhale, exhale, for balloon breathing. Can keep it on my abdomen and teach them while the abdominal breathing, the paper will go up and come down. There are so many things you can do. So being creative, innovative is on you. Getting the participation by being creative and innovative is 100% on you. So you have to be on your toes to create anything, any challenge continuously. And include props. Anything you can create, pick up anything. It could be sand, it could be stone, it could be paper, it could be balloon. It doesn't always have to be fancy charts or fancy, PPT. It doesn't have to be that. Okay. So I'm going to use some examples here. How do you teach? Some creative ways, right? So when I teach, for example, Tadasana. Tadasana is palm tree pose for an adult. But for a child, you have to tell them the tree. And show them the palm tree. How tall is the tree? And you want to say, do you want to go tall like a palm tree? Do you want to be tall like a palm tree? The way you introduce an asana with familiar things that they know, right? You cannot say like a lighthouse. Probably the child will have never seen a lighthouse, right? So introducing yoga asanas through particular things that they know, they're familiar with is very important. And yes, you can tell them you go tall, that's good. But then if you tell them the vertebrae, the spines, the 32 vertebrae, it will expand, the spinal fluid will be very good, the discs actually becomes very supple. Some children may not understand that. Okay, can I continue? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So be cautious or be aware of what you are offering to the child based again on the age, again on their understanding level on what to deliver to them. If it's a teenager, then they can understand the spinal column, the extension of the spinal column, etc. Right? So a palm tree, for them, palm tree is a green palm tree, tall, touching the sky. That's what they will know. So introduce concepts only in the way that they already know and they can relate to. Okay. So do you all know a tree, when the tree is swaying, when it's windy, what happens? When the wind is blowing, the tree is, what happens to the tree?
It will move front and back.
Front and back or sidewise also?
Side.
Sideways also. Front and back also. Okay, side and sideways now. What is that asana? Same tree. Yes. So, same tree, same laundry pose. When the wind is blowing, it becomes Tadasana. When there is, there is a cyclone, there's a big storm. It's like going round and round and round. The entire thing is swirling. What would that asana be? Very good. Chakrasana, which actually goes in a swirling the tree, right? Very good. So this is how you introduce. For those of you who may not be understanding those asanas just mentioned there, my apologies. These are asana names. Tadasana is the palm tree pose that you see. Triyaka Tadasana is the palm tree, which is actually the swaying palm tree pose. The third one that someone mentioned, thanks to you, was a Triyaka Tadasana, Kati Chakrasana, which is actually your spine twisting, where you actually twist from the waist. It's another pose called Kati Chakrasana. Okay. So this is how you will introduce, this is how much fun it will be there. And children will totally understand now the wind is blowing, and it will be fun doing that with them as well. So introduce them with objects. Everybody knows a boat? Everybody knows a boat, right? Is there a child? Always loves the boat, right? Boating is always be a fun activity for them. So
Yes.
when you introduced Naukasana or Naukasanchalanasana, right? These are basically rowing the boat asanas. How would you introduce this to him? A child who's finished, first standard would have already learned the rhyme by pre-KG, right? What rhyme what comes to your mind? Exactly. So your inhale, exhale, all that will happen automatically. Right? So row the boat gently down the stream. Merrily. Life is but a dream, right? That you should hear them say that, right? They'll be singing it and saying it and making it so much fun. Are you ready for this fun or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you should join the fun. Huh? Sorry, I missed that. Yeah, so here's the bow and the arrow.
Yes, ma'am.
So bow and arrow is actually, what asana is this? Dhanurasana, right? And now you can add stories. What story would you tell them? Because children love stories, right? There's not a child who will tell you same story, tell it 10 times also they will listen. Same ending, they will still listen. Now they'll tell you, tell that story. Now, have you heard the children telling you that? They love stories. So you can tell Ramayana, you can talk about Arjuna. With this one asana, you can make them do this. And this is so good for their digestive system. The kind of food they eat, the kind of processed food that we get, the nutrition levels of their food that they eat, their digestion is so much, constipation is such a problem, correct? So this asana will give them a very good relief from constipation, and also will keep their spinal column supple. So this is how you introduce asanas, big concepts, right? So big concepts on digestion, etc., or to a small mind, as Dhanurasana, as a story also can be done. It's all in your hands, how you take it to the children. And they will remember this for life, I tell you. Yes, another one here. Very good for your increasing the lung capacity. Now, we are all struggling with, all the infections, immunity, etc. This actually does, and also has a very good influence on the hormonal secretions. And with children, you know that yoga has a very good effect on the pineal gland, which starts calcifying soon at the age of 8 to 10. Yoga actually extends that period. And is there any child who does not know a swing, or who does not know, does not enjoy a swing? Even as adults, we love to swing, right? But we just don't know if it will break or not. How many of you like to swing? All of us like to swing, do we? Imagine if you can create your own swing. I mean, you don't have a swing at home, you create your own swing. And this is how you create your own swing using Lulasana, which is the cradle pose. How we do it, how we get in the balance. Before this, there will be a preparatory on strengthening their arms. Their arms should be able to take their weight, and how to swing and how to not fall back. How should they get their support? All this will be taught, slowly but surely. And this actually develops their arms and wrists and strengthen their arms, because to be able to manage their weight. And this leads a lot of coordination, because the swinging action should not be going out of balance. They may have an injury. So, it's very important the balance is developed. Then this is how you introduce with things that they are very familiar with. You don't have a swing, you create a swing, right? That will be the attitude. If I don't have it, it's okay. We make one. Either you have it or you don't have it. It's okay. We make it. I hope everybody's with me so far.
Hari Om, ma'am. Hari Om, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, யாரோ நீங்க குழந்தைங்களா மாறுங்கன்னு they have changed themselves as their kids, I suppose.
I know they're writing their names.
No, they're scribbling on the screen actually.
Yes.
So, ma'am, உங்களோட அந்த இதுல share screen optionல மேல annotate இருக்கும். அந்த disable annotation நீங்க தான் கொடுக்க முடியும்.
Annotate and
அதுல எண்ட்ல வந்து அந்த ஆப்ஷன்ஸ் இருக்கா 3 டாட்ஸ் சோ அதுல போயிட்டு நீங்க disable annotation for everyone கொடுத்துருங்க.
Okay, I've done that. Okay, children, I have to add.
நீங்க அதுல வந்து erase பண்ணிடுங்க. annotation அந்ததுல eraser இருக்கும். அதை எடுத்து இத erase பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னா erase ஆயிடும். Okay. And the kids, please, I request everybody not to do this again. And thank you, ma'am.
Okay, be good children now, basically, right?
Yeah, please continue, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much.
Ma'am.
Huh? We are good children, I know. I'm absolutely impressed. You're all being very, very good children. I hope you're all learning and understanding as well, right? Can I get some feedback?
Yes, go ahead, ma'am.
Madam, I have one doubt.
Yeah. You want to go to a doubt? We'll finish the session, then we can have a doubt.
No, that is a digestive system. Baddhakonasana is the best for this kids, no?
Yes, there are many asanas. I'm going to give you a sample on how to teach. I'm not listing all the asanas that's good for digestion.
Yes, butterfly. Yeah,
yes,
that is
sure.
good for
yes,
digestive.
It's good for many things. For girl children, especially who are going to attain puberty, I can give you the number of asanas. You probably already know as a yoga teacher. There are many, many asanas. Here are examples of how to give the asana to the child. That's the objective here, right? The objective is not to tell you what to do, but I just like how to do it. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ma'am, where we can make the engage of the students by the two way of competition. One is by in the balance by saying how long they can stand, and the second one is we can like a frog jump. They can jump in the balance portion only.
Yes.
The two competitions we can conduct means their engagement will be there and there is a competition and the children will move on to the taking the competition and they will increase their strength in the arms.
Yeah, sure. Yes, good one. So in this asana itself, he said that, you can introduce variations. That is another one, okay? Same Virabhadrasana, you can give many variations for the child, make it more interesting. You want him to jump in this asana? That is not the scope of this one, but then if you want to do it, more variation and more creativity, that's still good. But again, don't make competition against somebody else. The very, very important thing is it's not a competition against the person, who's coming first, and then we don't want the children to feel bad. The competition is against themselves. That's very important, right? So yesterday I was not able to stand up.
Yeah, in between the students only there is
within themselves.
Same engaged group is there. They can develop the arm strength.
What I'm trying to say is keep the competition on themselves. Like today, I can do this. Tomorrow, I should be better than what I could do yesterday. So the objective here is to make them improve, progressive, and yes, a competitive spirit is important to perform, etc. But then the objective here is, in fact, we call it yoga festival. We don't call it yoga competition actually, because you are your own benchmark. You are your own, well-wisher who wants to progress. So you have to instill that particular thing. Yes, as sir said, please, you are free. I said creativity is the key, right? You increase anything. One game, same game, I will do it differently for different age group. Make it more challenging, more variation, more difficult, different levels. Yes, thank you for raising that. Yes. Okay, typical example is pranayama, right? If you tell them pranayama, your air is going to the trachea, then bronchioles, all these things, children won't understand. So give it to the way that they know. Children know. Well then, your lungs is going to expand like a balloon. And they'll be seeing, the stomach coming out. They'll be so excited to see, okay, you can actually see your body part being felt with a particular moment. Maybe, so much fun and so much of awareness they have on their body. So use things that they know is what I'm trying to say, and make it simple for them and very, very effective as well. You can use balloon breathing, call it balloon. And we can do an activity, and then I can show you how to do this same inhale, exhale very simply. Okay, so as we said that, you have to be very, very careful in your planning. You should know like how is your, you can use any props like this, something is a sample example of ABC chart. For every letter, perform an asana. Every letter, tell me an animal and do the asana. Okay, so yoga word for I. What is it? You can play a yoga word building game. Inhale, for example, ends in E. So you have to, the E word is exhale. Then again, E. So you can actually play any kind of games, make it fun, and also make it effective. Because children they love to play, they love to learn, they love to engage, and all these characters. Tell me some characteristics of children. Tell me some characteristics of children. And every character should be your potential, positive point for you to work on. Tell me some examples of children's characteristics.
Curiosity.
Curiosity, yeah. So what game we can play curiosity? You cannot see something, right? A memory game. Give them something, like make them see it, remove it, and then say like which one is not there. That will make them very curious. Which one went off? Okay. So you tell me the character for each character. You have to find something that that will interest them to stay on this. Tell me some more characters of a child.
Restless.
Fast in grasping.
Grasping. Yes. Very true. Any more? Because I want you to think on those lines so you can create your course plan in that lines.
Coping.
Coping. Yeah, okay. How would you use it to your advantage?
Yeah, what we are performing, that same thing they are reproducing.
Coping. Yeah. Exactly. Mirror image, right? They will do what they don't know anything, but then you do, they do. Correct?
Yes.
Wonderful. So use it correctly, okay?
If they are teenager, they are a bit lazy and they carry some attitudes.
Yes. Laziness, you're saying, is an attitude? Is what you're dealing?
Yeah. Teenage. My daughters are teenagers.
Yes. So you should get more active ones so that they are actually able to be active, right? Surya Namaskar, for example. If you give them Surya Namaskar, what happens? They become very, very active. Okay?
Teenagers didn't like yoga, ma'am.
Didn't like yoga at all. Okay, then start with yoga as a fun game. Okay? So they are very curious. They are very flexible, right? They are energetic. They are restless, correct? So they are restless. Have you noticed children are restless? How to calm their mind? Meditation.
By meditation.
Some children may do yoga nidra. Children, yoga nidra is a fantastic way to calm them. And you will see that they will take it to another level, different world. Yoga nidra for children is a very excellent way to, to calm them and to bring out all the suppressed emotions. It will be very, very healing for children. They are playful, they get bored, they like appreciation, they are very creative, they are fun-loving. There are so many characters for children. So you have to tap on every character of them. You list down every character of the challenge that they have, and then you have to make your course in such a way that you are tapping that particular potential character of the child. And again, every child is not same. So you have a group game, and there is a yes, definitely. Some children come with surprises. Yes. So in a game, for example, one child doesn't want to play. No, I'm not coming. No, I don't want. And stays away and keeps watching. So you don't Very true. I have teenagers. I know exactly what I'm with you. I know it. I've done it. I feel it. There is a comment that says that teenagers is not easy, but then you will see how much it will be helpful for them, and how to introduce them is a big challenge. I totally agree. So coming back to this challenge, I'm going to put to you, like, if there is a child who doesn't want to participate in a game, how do you get the child inside into the playing the game? Because not every child wants to participate.
Yes, we have to see the child's attitude.
Correct.
In what way he is interested, as he is interested.
Correct.
And
So
we have to start with that point.
Correct. Don't force the children.
Yeah.
Very good. Don't force the child. Come, you should play, must play, the no marks for you. No such thing. Okay? Say you don't want to play, it's okay. Absolutely okay. So there's be another game that you're going to play. If this game you don't like, it's absolutely okay. What you can do is you can actually sit back and watch this game. And you will slowly realize that second round, third round, the child will come already. Okay? Or pick another game. What would you like to play? So to understand the child better. So many things. I mean, there will be challenges. For example, kids will be truckers, right? So much of noise. How would you calm a class? You're entering a class. There is so much of noise. How do you calm the class?
Yeah, first we have to take them, because the children are the game interested mostly, and we have to take them for the small game. And once they are playing, and we have to take them to the topic with the game. That's one way
you can do a game. You can just do they will start chanting with you. Then you just do a clap, 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 clap. They will start clapping with you. There are so many ways, 1 million ways.
Just one game we can say that one, as you told, that palm tree. Just one boy have to make the palm tree, and others have to make the birds, and the birds flew over that one and come back to the tree, flew over that one. One game we have to create that, and once it is they're tired, they will settle down and make them to sit with it.
Actually, there's a game that we used to play called Forest Theme, which actually is like this. You will be actually all the animal asanas will be in that forest. There will be trees in the forest. Parasana. There will be fishes in the water, Matsyasana. Like whatever he said, right? Birds, Gardasana. Whatever you can make asanas, you can actually make them do a forest scene. Again, this is only one part of what I'm saying.
You can make them one drama like that.
Exactly.
One or two make them a palm tree, and 2, 3 are make them birds, and birds to come together, and all the things we have to nesting that story. So the children will be just very aware of that one. They have new thing creating, and they will sit silent. They want to watch the things. Then we have
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your ideas. I think, as I told you, there are 80 people here. Then I think 80 people will have 80 ideas. That's how good this group is. I'm so happy that you want to share the little that I know, but I think you already know a lot of things, and I'm sure you're all great yoga teachers and going to be great yoga teachers. And I already see the potential in every one of you. I think we are close to the time that we planned, and I just wanted to do one slide which I wanted to show. If you can still see my screen, you cannot see my screen yet, right? Can you still see my screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay, this is one fun thing, like, as I told you, I was talking about the alphabets, right? So do an alphabet, become an alphabet is another game. Or how you would teach Bhumi Pada Mastakasana, right? This is the letter A pose. So as I told you, this is not the only way. There are 1 million ways you can do it. And this just, I'm just, sharing the joy of how we teach, how to teach. Okay, so this is train the trainer. That's what we do. And it's so much fun. And I just wanted to share that joy with you. And specific problems for children, if there are. Some children have digestive problems. Some children have eye problems. Specific things also can be focused as well, is what I want to talk to you at this point in time. And challenges is not to be forgotten. There are so many challenges. Children, place, timing, everything is a challenge. Climate, food, everything will be challenged from everywhere. But then, as a yoga teacher for children, as a parent, putting all the challenges and making every challenge a positive, every challenge is an opportunity for a new lesson to them, right? So how to make them, how you cope up with the challenge, and you make them to, make them to learn to cope up with the challenge is what is up to you. And I wish you all the very best in doing that. And Hari Om to all of you. And I would say this is not the end. This is only end of a new beginning in the journey of yoga for children. I just want to wish you everybody for your time spared today with us. And I would love to know if you have any questions, and I would love to look forward to you all starting on your journey and teaching children. Yes, we love teaching adults. That's what therapy is one part of my, my wish to do too also. But then teaching children is no match. Grooming a child is no match to anything else. I really thoroughly enjoy that. And I just wanted to share the joy with you all. And pick any opportunity that you get. I'm sure there is yoga teachers doing in schools. There are yoga centers. There are so many opportunities for your own family. Start with your children first, because getting a child to listen to you is very, very difficult. Start with neighbors, then yoga centers, or your own center, or a small time engagement with a school training center. Could be anything. You could start with that and include yoga in anything they do. Yoga dance, for example, artistic yoga. Make it all the fun yoga, so that it's not like a thing that it's so painful or boring or fearful for the child. Make it joyful is what is my request. And this is not an end, it's a new beginning, and let this beginning be a wonderful beginning for all of you. And I wish you all a very, very fruitful and a happy, healthy, prosperous year ahead. Thank you. I hope this session was helpful. So I hope I covered why, who we're going to talk, who are our audience, why we have to do this for the children. It's very important, all the benefit it brings, and what all can we offer, what all can yoga give them, as we talked about. And we talked about how to do it. I just showed you samples of how to do it. There are many ways to do it. There are so many new insights I got from this session. I thank you all for that. And
Ma'am, I had a small query. Yeah. How much of when we're doing this with kids, how much of importance do you give to the posture correction? And because in fun, in excitement, they might end up doing it the wrong way. And how much of importance do you give for that?
Okay.
How do we give rather?
Okay, the perfection is the goal, right? Perfection is the goal. That's what you want to get. You want to do it perfectly, the way the asana has to be done. But every child is different in terms of their body structure. They have their own limitations, their flexibility. There is so many things. So please understand, it can be progressive towards perfection. Not on day 1, not on day 2, maybe day 30 or day 60 or day 90. But the goal to get, this is the way to do asana, right? You're doing well. You're doing very nice. You're almost there. Maybe I think you're better than yesterday, right? Yesterday you were not able to touch your phone, right? So you're able to slowly but surely. That's what. It's progressive for a perfection. Slowly but surely you can guide them there with motivation and inspiration. Okay. So I wouldn't say that, because everybody has limitations. Everybody is made differently, but then take them. They should be inspired to do it. That's what is it. Teaching asana is no big deal. Hand here, leg there, inhale, exhale, done. But what is this? How do you do it? How do you get the process? There's a process of what is this asana? What is it called? How to do it? Starting position. How do you get to the final position? How long do you stay there? What is your breathing there? How do you come out of the asana? Right? And how do you come to the relaxed position? Who can do it? Who cannot do it? How to do it if you're not able to do it? So what happens if you do it? What are the benefits? If you do it wrongly, what happens? If you do it rightly, what are the benefits it has? If you're not able to do it, how can you use some props to do it or get some help to do it? There are so many things you can share, right? But keep the inspiration with them that I should do it. The child said, okay, ma'am, I said I didn't do today, and I will touch, ma'am. That is the fire that we have to keep the child, and that will be like very inviting for them to come to you. And include fun activities. They'll say, ma'am, we'll first play the game, then we'll do the asana. First game, ma'am, then we will do asana, ma'am. Can you change the order of the class like that? There is so much of fun in the games, right? So it's up to you. You are your own creator. So you can define the course the way that you want to and make it fun. It depends on the people, place, time, duration, nature of the child, so many things. There are various challenges. I'm not saying it's easy at all, but you can be a fantastic, most wanted yoga teacher if you be creative and take every challenge in your stride. Hari Om.
Dhanyavadam, ma'am. I
Thank
have
you.
a question. Ma'am, excellent session, ma'am. The
Thank
thing
you.
is, after 20 years of teaching, every day again it's a learning for us. Every
Very true.
moment,
You are eternal
every
learner.
moment,
That's me.
my two
Eternal
IAS
learner.
students are teaching me so much. And that's why we joined after 2013 again joining Shiv Darshan Yoga Vidyalaya.
Welcome back.
Yeah. The thing is, I want to ask you one thing. What would you suggest? First, the 3 things to be avoided in teaching, sharing this knowledge with the kid. What would you suggest to avoid? And online mode, there was in the chat box also, there was a question regarding online mode teaching. Online mode teaching, I also wanted to ask that. So is it advisable to have one-to-one session with a kid?
Yes, but then a group class is also fine. You can monitor. You can manage technology well, right? If you have the visibility to see everybody. Yes, our classes are online. Past 3 years, we are doing online teaching the teachers, right? We also monitor their performances online. So it's up to you. Absolutely, one-to-one is ideal if a child needs that much attention. But if a child is able to cope up with a group class, online is also quite effective. But we have no choice now. Technology is there. Like if you are in Canada, people want to learn from you from India, or if you want a teacher from India, yes, we should be able to do it, right? But again, you have to be able to observe what they do, correct them, and help them through the process. If you're able to do that, I think it's definitely doable.
My experiences, I have done it with teenagers. And when there were siblings together, it was easy for me to do it. I'll ask the parent to join. Only from close references I have taken classes because I wasn't prepared for that 3 years. So I had to take only the close circle. I was continuing this. That's when this online mode things came in, right? So along with my kid, I was able to. But now I have queries, so many queries coming up. My question was 3 things which you would suggest to avoid while sharing this knowledge.
Okay, I would avoid. Yeah. So first thing is making it fun and avoid making it boring session, right? Nobody wants to, especially online, giving attention. It's not happening. Sorry. Okay. So make it fun. Number 1. Okay, make it interesting and fun so that they are invited and you're more interested to join your session. Number 1. Okay. Number 2 is too much information. Sometimes, a child can't observe the things that all the benefits you tell about our digestive system and spinal column. Sorry, not interested. Don't understand. Sorry, don't understand. Give them only what they need to know. And you ask them also their interest. Make it highly interactive. If it's one-way story, nobody wants to listen. It's very normal to sleep off. Your voice will be so sweet and relaxing. They will do in yoga nidra all the time. Okay. So they don't want that. I mean, so if they want it to be participative, make it interactive. Don't avoid, feeding them with information which may not be very relevant because you want to share it, and make it interesting. And so that they are invited to join, and they should see the difference. You would want to tell them, okay, are you having problems? Do you have a problem constipation? Do you do some asanas that will relieve you from this morning stress? They'll be invited because we all results, right? That's inviting. So you would ask them like, so you do want to have better eyesight? Do you think you have back pain? Small children now says you have back pain. I can't sit for long. They can't even sit straight, right? All of them need their back cushions. So so things, ask them what are their painful points. Make it highly interactive, and sometimes they will be sharing with you what they won't tell their parents. So be the person that they will be. You're approachable. Be the person that they can confide to, and you see that that will really help them. Physical health, definitely, that's a given. Okay, mental health also. Okay, so be that person. Be
My
that.
psychology studies has helped me with that. Kriya Yoga, I'm a fan of Kriya Yoga. I'm using it for ladies as well.
Very nice. Kriya Yoga is the playful play.
Yeah, I'm using it for the elders as well.
Oh, that's fine. I would love to know.
Yeah,
Thank you.
exactly. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, participants. Yeah.
Hari Om.
Hari Om, Nandita, Raman. You sound so familiar. Mhm.
I am okay. I'm glad. So my question is, I wanted to ask about the teacher training courses that you offer. I wanted to know if it's completely online or
Yes, it's completely online. Yeah, Balamurali sir just mentioned about the courses that we offer. You can connect with her.
Can I reach out directly? Yeah.
So it's on Sundays. It takes about a few months. Sure, you can inquire. You're invited to
reach out directly.
Yeah, please. Yes, sure, you can.
Yeah, you
Thank
can
you
call
so
me,
much.
ma'am.
Your session was very enlightening and really helpful.
Thank you so much. I wish you the very best to get started on this and have fun.
Yes.
Unlimited. Thank you. Any more questions? And I just want to wish you all, I mean, in whatever way you can to, be part of that mission to, take yoga to the child. Our Swamiji, Puja Gurudev, Swami Shivananda, he said, take yoga door to door, shore to shore. So door to door already happening, right? So from Chennai to Chennai, we already taking door to door. I see people from Canada, so that's already shore to shore. So in a small way, we want to be part of the mission. So that's why we are doing what we are doing. So join in any way that you can and take yoga to the children, because they are the future. They are the future. Catch them young. Instead of struggling with teenage problems, teenage depression, suicides, frustrations, fear, all that, right? Instead, make them to handle that. That will happen. The world is going to get different, but then yoga is the future. You know the awareness from what it was 5 years ago, what it was 10 years ago, but it is going to be the future, and be part of that future. Be part of a child's change. Be the change. Help to be the change. And that's what we want to invite you to. And I wish you all the very best for that. So Balamurali sir, if you have questions, you can type it in the chat if you want to know any details. But you can reach out to the ashram directly. Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed. I'm so inspired with this is already a commitment. Waking up at this time so early for a webinar is already shows your commitment. Truly. Nandita Raman, where are you from?
I'm actually in Colorado, USA.
Okay, fine. Denver, Colorado.
You probably know my mom. I'm just doubtful though. Satyabama Raman.
Yeah. I'm not too sure. That's nice. So very nice.
Thank you.
So yeah. So who are all here? I think we can stop the live stream. The quick Balamurali sir. Are we done with the thing? I just wanted to have a quick
Yes, ma'am.